All right, so we're going to start. Welcome. Thank you for coming to our emergency town hall meeting that we called shortly after 2 o'clock yesterday. As you know, around 2 o'clock yesterday, the mayor made the announcement that due to rising COVID rates in the city, above 3%, the schools are closed to in-person learning starting today. So we want to first let you know that while this is disappointing and can be anxiety producing, to not worry. We plan for this. We've got you. Our philosophy from the beginning has been, no matter what the situation, whether we're blended, whether we're remote, whether we're students are all remote or in person or half, that we are all one big family, and we are going to work super hard to make sure that we continue to have really, really strong live instruction for students. And we are creative with our approaches to remote learning to keep it engaging and fun and to keep some of the same traditions alive. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what our plans are for the next 3 days and for then going forward after that. And then open up for any questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions, concerns that you may have. As always, you can do that either by raising virtual or physical hand and unmuting, or putting a question in the chat. Either one. Ms. Gunn will be monitoring the chat while I will be leading the discussion. So we had thought a lot about the possibility of what we would do if we decide if the decision was made that the schools will close for in-person learning. And so we have a program that is ready to go, that is built upon our existing program to minimize change as much as possible. But we do know that the classes, that the same schedule that we did in the first week in September, where the kids were with all the blended kids were together by grade and the remote kids were together by grade, those classes are too big for our liking. And when we are preparing for a blended environment where some kids are in school and some kids are at home, and the class sizes are in school are 12 or less, we have more constrictions on our staffing than when everybody is all remote. When everybody is all remote, we have more resources to put into the remote classes, and we want to utilize those resources to make our classes smaller. So what our plan is for the next 4 days, today, tomorrow, and Monday and Tuesday, our students are going to follow the same schedule they did in the beginning of September, where they are in those big classes with multiple teachers pushing in. During those 4 days, Ms. Gunn and I are going to be reprogramming the school, and to have basically each one of those classes cut in half. So our blended students are going to stay together with their same teachers, and they will be in 2 classes, one where it's the kids who come on the A day and one's the kids that come on the B day. And they will have a schedule. And then remote classes, the all remote classes, we will cut those in half sizes and have those students follow the schedule with their teachers, but with smaller size classes. And we'll have the ability to do that because we'll have more teaching resources to put to it. We will still have a coach for each of these remote classes. There will be a remote coach, and we are in the process of onboarding some new remote coaches, and our experienced remote coaches will help train those coaches, so that every class has a coach to build community and to be with the students throughout the entire day. On Wednesday of next week, so the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we are going to have a whole school assembly. The kids are going to go to their homerooms at 8:30. Then at 9 o'clock, we're going to have a whole school assembly. We're going to explain the new schedule to the students, and we are going to then break them out into their new groups and do a team building activity with their new small groups. Some of the groups will be very similar. Like if you are a blended student, you are already used to working with all the students in group A or all the students in group B, and so the groups will be, with some changes, will be pretty much the same. But we will still do a community building activity on that Wednesday, and then we will release the students to do the rest of the day with remote instruction, with asynchronous remote instruction. They can take the time to make up work or take the time to start enjoying their Thanksgiving. But our 8th graders, and we are about to announce this. Do we announce this, Lopez, now? Yeah, let's announce this now. We've just hatched the idea of, it's a tradition at Middle School 50 that on the day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday, the 8th graders play the teachers in football. It's called the Turkey Bowl. It's been happening for, I don't know, 50 plus years. It's a tradition. Please know that the teachers always win. Staff has never lost. And so it is a tradition that our 8th graders look forward to. And I'm sure our current 8th graders have been looking forward to it since 6th grade. And we are very sad that we won't be able to do that in person with them. But we have in the works a remote Turkey Bowl using Madden from PlayStation and Xbox. So we're going to do a remote Turkey Bowl. It'll be a little tournament, a little simulation. It's going to be super fun. Everybody's welcome to watch it. We're going to live stream it and be able to have open but monitored chat. And we will have the ability for some of our 8th graders to play their staff members in Madden. We're going to rename it. It's going to be fun. So that will happen on Wednesday. And then starting Monday after Thanksgiving, we will launch our new smaller class size programs. If we come back, right, the mayor announces that we are open for in-person learning on November 30th, then we won't do that program. We will return immediately back to the program that we have done the last 2 months and that your children are used to. So this way we have really 2 programs. Anytime schools are closed, we will go to this program that I'll explain a little bit more about in a second, that I think better meets the needs of students and will be better for instruction because we have more resources. And then if we go back to in-person learning, we will then split back to the previous schedule and have and offer both in-person and remote instruction. So the one other change that we're going to make in this program that you'll see that's different outside of the smaller classes, and this is something that we've been hearing from students and from teachers and from our remote coaches, is that that our schedule is a little bit relentless in like Zoom after Zoom after Zoom with content after content after content. So what we decided to do, instead of having the kids have all 4 of their major content areas every day, they will have 2 a day, and they will be double period, so that they will have a chance to have live instruction and then a chance to complete the work with the teacher there in small groups, in different breakout rooms and collaboratively. The teacher will still be live with them, but they will have some time during the school day to complete their work. Our students were saying that they were having work that they weren't able to complete in the day and then would pile up after school, and it was causing some stress and anxiety. And we saw that and want to make a change to help support them. So that will be a part of this new program for when we're all remote. Once again, if we go back to blended, we will go back to the same program that we have currently, which is necessitated by having resources for in-person learning at 12 students or less. If families who have opted back into in-person learning, we had a significant amount of families opt back into in-person learning, they will be programmed in the blended group. And as soon as we open back up for in-person learning, they will start with the in-person learning group. So any student that wasn't all remote, we will now program them, and on Wednesday they will get their new programs, and they'll be ready to go. In each of these programs, there is also opportunity for elective choice. This is another thing that we've heard from our students, that some artists really want to focus on art, and some musicians really want to focus on instrumental lessons with Mr. Wareham. And we are also going to bring in some other resources. Shout out to El Fuente Beacon and their teaching artists will also be pushing in during the day to give our students some options for vocals and bomba and drama and other electives. So there will be an opportunity for each of our grade levels to choose what elective they want to do. So those are, and there will be PE every day, and a whole school workout on Fridays after lunch. So Fridays after lunch, there will be no more. There will be we have scheduled no academic classes, but we will have a Friday whole school workout that will be led by different MS-50 staff members, and we'll also be reaching out to community members and families if anybody has expertise and wants to lead a whole school workout. Families are invited to join. We will use our giant Zoom that allows lots of people, and we can all work out together and keep our bodies healthy during this remote time. One other announcement, and then I'll stop and open for questions. Tomorrow is our debate tournament. So about 60 plus students at Middle School 50 will be competing in a debate tournament this Friday. So if your child is one of them, good luck to her or him. And if not, please send us good vibes. We would like to take down the championship again remotely. And then December 11th, we are hosting our own debate tournament for elementary school students, where completely run by our debaters who will act as judges and coaches, and that will be a great community service and leadership opportunity for our students. Etta, I apologize. I know I was talking fast. I will now pause and open up for any questions. Comments. Feel free to put it in the chat. Ms. Gunn will take care of reading off chat, or raise your virtual hand or physical hand.
So far, no questions in the chat, but good vibes. And
awesome.
Too much writing. I just wanted to say it's very reassuring that you have such a comprehensive plan, and that you're also listening to the students' feedback, because that's super important. And as a parent, I definitely worry about how much time my daughter is spending on the screen, because it's a lot of time. So thank you so much, and good luck at the tournament.
Thank you. I'll just jump on that point again. We also, yes, screen time and Zoom fatigue has been a major theme and cause of concern for us. So in this new program, there will be every major class is broken up by some break or physical activity. So that's also something we found, that when the kids have a chance to just for 10-15 minutes to move around, to get their bodies moving, that it helps for their brains as well. It helps them engage. So that is built into the new program. ELT is also going to continue. There's no ELT today because of parent-teacher conference, but ELT will continue. We will be cutting down some of the offerings. If any of the classes that have less than 5 kids, it's not financially sort of doable for us. So we're going to be looking at the registers and cutting some down. But there are plenty of ELTs that are super popular that will continue, and we will have a homework help every day. So there will be a homework help opportunity every day for kids, where a teacher will be available to help with homework. So that will be available daily, Monday through Thursday at least.
we just had a comment in the chat just asking for us to keep parents informed as make decisions and as things come up. So definitely always.
Absolutely. Let's do a little poll here. I know this isn't a perfectly representative sample, but so we use Jupyter, Dojo. For 6th graders, I have an email listserv, Remind app, and robocalls. Can you put in the chat what is the thing that works best for you? What is the thing that you're checking the most? How do you know about? We blasted this meeting on all 5 of our things to try to get it as wide as possible. We'll continue to do that, but I'm curious, what is the thing that you're most looking at?
And Instagram.
And we do Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, we do Instagram, Facebook, and our website, and our push notifications on the app too. Push notifications on the app. Which one is? I'm curious to know which ones are most often used. Okay, I got to vote for app. One vote for Jupyter, app and Dojo. Right. App. All right. App. Okay. Good to know. App is winning. All right. Well, DJ Lopez, our tradition. Any other questions? Any other comments, concerns, questions?
Yes, there was a question in the chat from Ms. Brazil. Good afternoon. I have a question about the after-school program. My son and I noticed that the original program's days had changed, and it's conflicting with the other programs my son signed up for. How can we get this correct? And wishing everyone luck with the debate.
Okay.
We just responded to that. And I put the Beacon director's email in the chat, so if you can email him, I'm pretty sure he will help you, work with you.
Yeah, I will have to check in with El Puente about whether El Puente is open during this particular school closure. It was not in the spring, but I don't know that that's the case for our
yes, sites are open, Ben. They open during the day. Yeah, and they're also like evening programming, I think, is the one that's virtual, but like they're open during the day to like support students that are, learning from home. Jasmine just put it in the chat as well.
Okay. Awesome.
And just I'm not sure. It was that question, Roxanne, was that about Beacon's Beacon's after school programming or our extended learning time after school programming?
Yeah, it's a good question. Annalyn, do you know Annalyn or Jasmine, do you know the answer to that? Will Beacon's after school program be in the building?
No, Beacon is virtual too because they're in the school building. So that's the only one that's virtual. But the other sites for El Puente that are throughout Williamsburg and Brooklyn, they're open during the day.
Roxanne just mentioned is for ELT. So our ELT classes are all remote.
Yeah. Our ELT classes are always all remote in this remote context and will continue to be all remote.
Yeah. So I think that the question with it was, I think because we had some classes switch times that they're offered. And so then there's conflicts between the original sign up and now with those classes that have changed times. I think that's what you're asking, Roxanne.
Roxanne, if you could message me specifically about that, I'll try to figure out what the answer is on that.
Okay, we also have another question in the chat from Ms. Samples. Can you say a little about how much you expect currently blended teachers to change when going all remote?
Yeah, sure. The answer is very little, if at all. The students will have the same teachers that they have when they are in person. Sometimes the blended students had a different teacher for their remote days than they did for their blended days. So they will not have that teacher. They will have their blended teacher, the in-person teacher, the whole time. For example, in the sixth grade, if you're a blended student and you had Miss Lou for math, but you had Mr. Turan for the remote days, Miss Lou will teach you the whole time, and Mr. Turan will teach the remote kids the whole time. Same thing for seventh grade ELA and math. So pretty much, I think I could say with 100%, the students will have their exact same teachers that are leading their lead teachers that are the ones that are responsible for their grading. They will have them the entire time, and they will not have the secondary teacher. Yeah, I see that one, Diane. Yes, the students they're going to get new schedules about like which times their classes are meeting, but it will be their same classes with same teachers. So they will not have to get new Google Classrooms. They will not have to get used to a new teacher. They will have just what we think, and we're open to like, if it isn't working, right? If we try this double period thing and it doesn't seem to be working, we're open to making other changes. But we think this way the way we have it that we're going to unveil on Wednesday will better meet the needs of our students with smaller class sizes and larger chunks for them to build work time into the school day. So they will have the same teacher. So for example, if I'm a seventh grader and I have Mr. Schober for social studies, I will have him at a different time than I normally had him and a different day, but I will still have Mr. Schober, same curriculum, same Google Classroom, same everything. And they will get a program on Wednesday that outlines all of that. Oh, and I should also say this, I forgot to say about Interdisciplinary Friday. So we have our double periods that meet twice a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday. And then on Fridays, they will see all of their teachers, But on Fridays, we're also planning on doing some fun interdisciplinary things. Like, for example, as like Earth Day comes in April, if we're still in this model, we will be doing something whole school-wide about environmentalism. As Black Lives Matter Week of Action comes, we will do something whole school around that theme. We'll have the ability to do grade level themes and whole school themes, and try to keep it fun and celebratory, and also like just different. We know that remote learning can be relentless, and kids can get bored, and kids can get tuned out of looking at a screen. So we're trying to keep it fresh and exciting with as much variety in it as possible, and we'll use those Fridays to do fun things. Fridays will also be a time when kids will have an opportunity to like make up any work that they missed on the week. And yes. Great question over here. I think we might have to put that on. We'll reach out to you about that. But there's a chance that might be delayed with all of the work that we will be doing moving forward. The question is, will the Honor Society Zoom still happen on the 30th? We are. When you get report cards, you will see, for honor roll students who have an 80 or above average with passing all classes, so no NX, which is the term for a class that is still continued, will make honor roll, and we'll have some. We'll try to have some form of honor roll celebration. It is scheduled for the 30th. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to keep that, but I will say that we might have to delay it depending on our capacity to make it happen.
Question in the chat.
I see it. Yeah. Should everyone have heard from their homeroom teachers by now for setting up parent-teacher conference? We haven't, and thought it might be because of the honor. Yes, that should have happened. I will reach out to that particular homeroom teacher and make sure that happens. It did get a little bit muddled with the all remote announcement as things as some shifts were making, but yes, the idea for parent-teacher conference is to sign up for a 20-minute individual meeting with the homeroom teacher. The homeroom teachers have the report cards. Let me talk a little bit about that. Homeroom teachers have the report cards that they can share. They will also sign you up for a Google Classroom so you can follow your students' work, and also something called that My Student NYC account that all the teachers have creation letters for each of the kids. And if you sign up for that thing, you can see and download the report card. I mean, I'm assuming it's a DOE function. I'm hoping that it's up and running, but that's how it's supposed to be. Yep, same homeroom teacher. I will get on that. And we'll make sure you can also feel free to reach out to the homeroom teacher and text that homeroom teacher. I know that homeroom teacher works particularly well with text, and tell them what time slot works well with you. But I will make sure that happens. Ms. Gomez, who's your child, Ms. Gomez?
Alana.
Yep. Same homeroom. We got you. The way to sign up, I mean, the parent teachers, the homeroom teacher will reach out to you either by sending a Google form where you just sign up, which is what was the plan. If not, by phone calls, and they'll set up a time to meet with you.
So Roxana mentioned she has a school account, and the DOE does not have this on her certain
My Student NYC account. I'm putting it on here. My Student NYC. Is that the account you're looking at, Roxanne? All right. I will send an email up the chain to see when they're going to do that. Our homeroom teachers have them, and they can share it with you. They'll share their screen. If you do a Zoom with them, they can send you a screenshot of it. It should be on there on the DOE site. Should have it. Our report cards are done. They're printed. They're actually being mailed home too. So you'll get them by snail mail, probably within a week. But they should be on that. On the My Student NYC.
It's possible that they might be a bit behind the DOE. But our teachers have all the report cards, so you definitely will be able to see it from them. They can screen, like share screen and show you if you choose to meet with them on Zoom.
I see, Ms. Torres. What if you feel your child may benefit from extra help? So the first place I would turn them to, and I know it's more screen time, but is our expanded learning time homework help. They can sign up for expanded learning time homework help. We have it by every grade, so a different one for each grade. Depending on our sign up, we might collapse it, but there will be homework help available with an MS-50 teacher every day from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's one place. Another place is directly to the teacher that your child, for one of the particular classes that you feel your child needs extra help. Reach out to that teacher, and we will figure out a way to get extra help. We also have specific math tutors that work for CUNY that we can push in if it's a math class, and we have a lot of availability to do extra help. Just let us know, and we'll figure something out. These are great questions. Keep them coming. These are great questions, these are great questions, especially on the logistics side of things. We'll make sure that we get that done.
Question about hard copies of the report card.
Yep. They were mailed home.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
They were mailed home yesterday.
So they mailed home yesterday. In normal times, you would get them by tomorrow, but in these times, I think it'll probably be a little later. Yep, homeroom teacher, Ms. Torres, is another great place. In this meeting that you have today, talk very openly to the homeroom teacher, and we'll make a plan to support the child.
Any more questions?
How long can we be expected to be in these conditions? Do you guys, I know you guys don't know, but do you think this is going to be for the rest of the whole year, going into next year, or what do you think about that question?
That is really the question. That is the question that all the principals are asking our superintendent, and superintendents are asking higher up. I got a call from the principals union today to ask how things were going. That was the exact question that I asked. It was, listen, we can rock and roll with in person, we can rock and roll with remote, but what we don't want is flipping back and forth. Our kids need consistency. So we don't know. I mean, if you ask me what my personal read is, it looks like the mayor and the chancellor are everything that they're talking about is wanting to get back to in-person learning, and they use 3% as this guide. So the question I want to know is if we dip back to under 3%, is it opening up right there, or does it have to be under 3% for a certain amount of time? They did say that in the coming days, they'll give more information. So I'm watching the news like you all are. My gut is that we'll probably be in this all remote context, definitely through Thanksgiving. And my bet is probably through Christmas, but I don't know. But either way, we got you. Like, either way, we have a plan. If we go back to blended, we have the same programs with the same coaches and the same one Zoom links, and the kids will go right back onto that. And by the day after Thanksgiving, next Wednesday, when we unveil our new program, we'll have a program with smaller class sizes and I think a little bit better structure for if we're all remote. But please do know that if we do go back to blended, we have to go back to the other program. Like, even if this program is working so well with the double periods, that's not something we'll be able to sustain in the blended model, because we need so much of our teachers to be in classes with classes of 12 or less. Right. But when everybody's remote, we have more teaching resources to be able to make those classes smaller.
So we have something in the chat.
Go for it.
Anna Lynn, can you, or Jahaira, we have one in Spanish from Ana Espinal. She didn't have Wi-Fi for 3 days. Do you see that one?
Could be some kids can't get on.
I don't see it. Maybe, is it?
Yeah,
No,
they're asking, they didn't have Wi-Fi for 3 days. How can they make up the work that they lost during that time?
So two answers to that. It's a really good question. We know that Wi-Fi is a serious issue. So it's two. I'm going to talk about two fronts on it. One is partnering with El Puente Middle School 50 is and partnering with the CEC of District 14 is making a big push to get universal free Wi-Fi. Like that's something that we believe is something that is a social justice issue that we're organizing to get behind. We think universal free Wi-Fi in this time with remote learning is essential. High quality universal free Wi-Fi. So on a large, broad place, we are fighting for that as a united with El Puente, united with the CEC of District 14. In the meantime, though, just let us know if there's any problem with Wi-Fi, any problem with health, any problem with anything. Let us know, and we will, of course, the child will have all the time they need to make up any work, and we will also try to help you resolve that problem. We do have the, we have the ability. We fundraise, the PTA fundraise on election day, made a whole bunch of money, and that money is going to be used to purchase things like hotspots for families in need. So let us know any type of need, whether it's hotspots or health or food insecurity or anything. Let us know. We are a community, we're a family, and we will organize to help. At the same time, we will be fighting for larger scale change that we can, so that everybody has equal to the same access.
Okay, great. And then question, will there be additional social emotional support activities done?
Yes, we are. That is also one of the parts of the plan and parts of the desire to make the class size a little bit smaller, where those type of activities can be more successful. We are going to be going back to our first thing. If you remember from last year, those 7th and 8th grade families, we did something called the mood meter, where the kids did that they tracked their sort of emotion on a daily basis, whether they were feeling anxious or excited or down. They have an opportunity to say on the mood meter whether they would like to talk to a counselor, and we did that every day. And it was a way to have our students be cognitive of their own emotional state, to build their emotional awareness and be able to develop strategies around when they're feeling different emotions. So we're going to come back to that. That's one of our things we're doing pretty immediately. And each of our remote coaches, that's one of their main jobs, is to build community and do social emotional teaching with the students. So we have a crackerjack team that is going to train up our new remote coaches as we onboard them for this.
Ms. Navarro, I want to add that our counselors also push into our remote classes. They host breakout groups, like small breakout groups, whether it's individual or small groups, to meet with students. And we have something called the care team, which we're going to start meeting weekly. And this is when staff members come together, as administration, teachers, counselors, and we just talk about things that we notice and ways that we can support kids better. And this comes up whenever the remote coaches they work with the kids and they see that they notice something is going on. They let us know, and then we come up with plans and interventions for them. You have something else?
Yeah, I saw. I'm on that, Diane. I'm on that. Hopefully you'll hear very shortly.
Mr. Aronoff, can I just add something about making up work? It's Fiorella. Sure. Edda's translating right now?
Yes.
Okay. Señora Ana, y también para otros padres, okay? So in terms of like making up work, there's also like different periods where, especially like in remote settings where there's almost like an independent reading period or physical education period, where we are providing tutors, where we are on the Zoom asking students if they need support making up work, right? So that's another opportunity. So if a student misses a day, they should be logging on during those periods to get any help and support to make up that work. In addition, tomorrow, because we have a debate tournament, there's going to be a lot of students that are going to be participating in that But that also gives opportunity for students who have any missed work to do that work on the Zoom with the teachers while they're there. So there's different opportunities for students to make up work. They just got to make sure that they log in and get that support to be able to make up that work as well.
What's going on?
All right, good questions. Very good questions. Thank you. Good questions. I love good questions. Anything else?
Nothing else I see in the chat. Wait, there's something. You're welcome.
All right. Well, as you know, we have a tradition here at Middle School 50 about how we end all of our Zooms. We do it at, another thing I should mention, during remote learning, we get to add in remote breakfast, right? We can't do that during in person because Mr. Lopez and I are doing morning lineup, but in a remote context, we're available. So we're having morning breakfast. We did it last year, totally optional. But if you want, it opens up at 7:45 and goes till 8:15, and we eat breakfast together. And Mr. Lopez plays a video about a breakfast food, the history of each breakfast food, and we go over the student's schedule, and we just have a nice community time to set their day off right. So feel free to jump on. Parents are always welcome as well. It's posted in the MS50 virtual classroom. We did it this morning, and we will keep doing it for the duration of all remote. When we go back to, if and when we go back to in-person learning, we will stop the remote breakfast.